welcome. If you've ever watched a Mike's Mike video, a Nicole Rafiee video, you know this all too well. I came up with this idea at 3 AM today. I don't know why. It happened. And now we have this board for this album. Is every Easter egg on this board? No. But I'm going to be talking about as much as I thought of, got from the internet, and I can remember in my noggin. This is very unhinged of me. I don't know what's going to come out of this. I don't have a script. I'm just going to talk. The Tortured Poets Department is the 11th studio album by Taylor Swift. Where did she announce said album? At the fucking Grammys, when she won her 13th Grammy. Which, actually, might I add, she said that she didn't know she was going to win anything and that she had planned to announce this album if she won, but also if she didn't win, she was going to announce it in Tokyo on night one.
I thought, okay, so if I'm lucky enough to get up there and win one thing tonight, I'm just going to do it. And luckily enough, that ended up happening. My backup plan was I was going to do it tonight in Tokyo.
At the Eras Tour, she announced that right after she turned in Midnights at like the end of 2021, beginning of 2022, she started writing this album.
And I've been keeping it a secret for a while because I've been working on Tortured Poets since right after I turned in Midnights. And so I started working on it immediately after that, and I've been working on it for about 2 years. I kept working on it throughout the US tour.
So that gives us a little bit of clarity, I suppose, about when this was written, because a lot of people were saying it was written at the same time as Midnights, but also it wouldn't make sense because she said she's been keeping it a secret for 2 years. And if you're counting now 2024 as 2 years ago, it'd be 2022, right? Right. I just gave you that little recap of how this album, I guess, came to be. So now we're gonna actually get into some Easter eggs. It's gonna go through each of the tracks, but I kind of just wanna go directly to who this album is probably about because a source close to him has spoken out about it. Redacted here, Redacted Alwyn is probably the, what's the word? Inspiration for this album. Paul Mescal, I think it's Mescal, they have a group chat with Andrew Scott called the Tortured Men's Club.
So what's the name of the WhatsApp group that we're in? Tortured...
It's either the Tortured or the Lonely... Tortured Man Club, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah. Tortured Man, me, you and Andrew.
You know, pretty obvious. And he spoke out like yesterday, well not him, a source close to him spoke out that he was hurt and saddened and he's shocked by the call out. And all I have to say is, why would you date Taylor Swift knowing that this is her job? Every single man she has dated has done the same thing and is like, oh my god, no, she wrote a song about me, oh no, as if it wasn't her job, and then they get butthurt and mad. Like John Mayer sent her email after email after email. Like, bro, you're also a songwriter, you should get it. Okay, since I just jumped to track 2, we're gonna go back to track 1. Fortnite. This is not how you spell it. There's no correlation between the game, but track 1 is Fortnite featuring Post Malone. And if you are a fan of Post Malone as well, you understand how this collab is very exciting. And you're probably wondering why, because they had their first public interaction at like the BBMAs or something, and they hugged, and he like gave her a congrats and whatever, and it was very, very heartwarming. And she has said in an interview in 2019 that she's always wanted to work with Post Malone because she appreciates his songwriting and all that jazz. And now they have a song together called Fortnite. But you're probably wondering what Fortnite means. I went over this in my other video. It means a 2-week period of time, or a period of 2 weeks. It's British. You know what else is British? That guy. Anyways, It's defined as a period of 2 weeks. And I could be wrong about this, but I don't think I am. Mr. Redacted and Miss Swift broke up 2 weeks after the Eras tour started. They broke up like 2 weeks after the Eras tour started on April 8th. Leading into that, you know what day this album comes out on? April 19th, which 2 weeks after April 9th or 8th. So it's actually 11 days from April 8th to April 19th. So ignore everything that I say between the April 8th and April 19th 2 week mark, because it's actually 11 days, which adds an even bigger Easter egg to this, because this is probably a breakup album about them and it's her 11th album. And just, yeah, anyways, back onto the video. After April 8th, like 2 weeks later on the 19th, the Great Unfollowing happens, which also you're probably wondering why the American Revolution photo is here. Coincidentally, the American Revolution started on April 19th. So everybody's saying these three are tied together, which kind of makes sense because Mans is British, she's American. She's Miss Americana, he's the Heartbreak Prince. Like, she's gonna start a war with this album is what I'm trying to say. April 19th, coincidentally, is the day that she had dinner with all of her friends, and they all started unfollowing Mr. Redacted over here. They all started unfollowing this man, and Twitter found out that it was the day of the French? American Revolution, the start of the American Revolution. So everybody's like, it's this gonna start a war, which honestly, probably. It probably is. Twitter's already in shambles, so is TikTok. So like, these three events makes so much sense. Next, I don't have a thing up here for it, but there's another little Easter egg that I've kind of figured out and I posted in my past video, which is me just reacting to the track list, is that the song called My Boy Breaks His Favorite Toys is in direct correlation. This is not confirmed yet, the album's not out yet, but in my brain it is direct correlation to Cruel Summer by Taylor Swift with the lyrics, bad, bad boy, shiny toy with a price. She's the price, she's the toy, and he breaks his favorite toy. So Long London, our little London boy here, that's our track 5. I'm totally skipping some tracks because I don't have them established on this wall. But our little London boy here has a track 5 to him called So Long London. And that is also in direct correlation to London Boy. Okay, because now London was her favorite place, and now it is not. I need a marker. I'm gonna X his face out. I'm gonna make him into a devil. There. He's now the devil. But yeah, our little London boy here gets a track 5 called So Long London. I feel like that was very obvious that London Boy and So Long London parallel each other, but that's that. We've got track 6, But Daddy I Love Him. We've got her dressed as Ariel all the way back in 2019, by the way. And if you didn't know this, But Daddy I Love Him is a line in The Little Mermaid that came out in 1989. So basically, she talks to her dad about being in a relationship with this guy, and he's like, no, it can't happen. You are a mermaid and he is a human. And she's like, but Daddy, I love him. And then she ended up giving up her voice to become a human to live with him and all this jazz and have their happy ever after, whatever. But in this case, she gave up her voice for a man. Because we all know she was cooped up for like 6 years, okay? This girl was cooped up for like 6-7 years with this man right here, okay? And she basically sold her voice for a quiet life, okay? And we're gonna get back into that little, that subject when we get to another song, which is at the end of the album. But girlfriend cooped herself up. She basically got rid of her voice for a quiet life. And by her voice, I mean her bejeweledness, which, by the way, she tweeted, what does fresh out of the slammer even mean? Another Twitter user says she gets to bejeweled. She gets to bejeweled now. And that's what Fresh Out of the Slammer is going to be about. I've decided that. Next track is called Florida. I don't know how well you can see this, but I drew Florida and I put the title name in here, and then I put Florence in the machine. In correlation to Doomsday right here, her first show she played after breaking up with Mr. Redacted London boy here was in Florida on the Eras tour. So everybody's gonna be like, what? Is that what Florida's about? And there's like, it's like, I don't know, when you see it stylized, you're like, this seems like a very exciting song, and it could be very depressing because you have Florence and the Machine on that track. So who really knows? In my brain, I'm gonna think it's a very, like, I'm free song. We have Guilty as Sin. I didn't print this out either, but Guilty as Sin, like my boy likes breaking his favorite toys, and like So Long London and all that jazz. Guilty as Sin, question mark, is in direct correlation to Carolina that she wrote for Where the Crawdads Sing. She literally says in the last verse, chorus, whatever you want to call it, that I was guilty as sin and sleeping in a liar's bed. So people are speculating that Redacted cheated on her. Okay, next we have Who's Afraid of Little Old Me. I don't know why it printed so tinily. I will insert a photo here, but people think it's in direct correlation to the play and the movie, mostly the movie because of two actors that are in the movie, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. And the film has Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton, Reputation era, in Ready for It. He can be my jailer, Burton to this Taylor. So people are saying that. Also, the film and the play literally talk about the complexities in a marriage and examines the messiness of these two characters' relationship. Also, randomly in Act 2 of the play, there's a word that directly translates to like witchcraft or witch meeting, which is really funny for her because she literally has two albums that are very witchy and cottagecore-y. So that's another little Easter egg there. We have I Can Fix Him, No But Really. People have been saying online, mostly the Swiftologist on YouTube. If you watch him, he's iconic. Zach, we love him to death here, or at least I love him to death. Love his content. But I Can Fix Him, No But Really I Can, I think is going to talk about how there were always problems in their relationship, especially in the way that he wanted to kind of hide everything, and she was like, well, why can't we just like act normally, like a normal, like keep it private, but also if we get asked about each other, not to try to hide it. Because whenever we see little Mr. Redacted talk about Miss Swift here, he always looked very disgusted for some reason. I don't know why. He just always looked disgusted whenever she was mentioned. Also, to add to this, you can see in past songs that there were problems in their relationship. Like with Renegade. Renegade came out in 2021 with Big Machine something with Aaron Dessner and Justin Vernon, Bon Iver, right? In that song, she literally says, is it insensitive for me to say, get your shit together so I can love you? Is it really your anxiety that stops you from giving me everything, or do you just not want to? Anyways, I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. Gonna insert a clip from the Eras tour. It was like right after the breakup, she sang Lover and then she wiped a tear. That's the kind of woman we like. Not that she was heartbroken. This song, that song is going to talk about how she's a very resilient woman. She won't let anything get in her way. Never gonna let anything get in her way. Next is The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. People on Twitter were talking about this and TikTok, but I honestly think it's like, as much as it's like she's making a lot of money off of the re-recordings and reclaiming all of her eras, I genuinely think she's not over that because her first 15 years of her career got stolen from her. So I think that song is going to be about Scooter and Scott. Scott Borchetta was the old owner of Big Machine record label, which she was signed to for like 15 years up until the Reputation era. And then she left them for UMG and Republic in 2019 for Lover. We have the Alchemy. I forgot to print this out, but The alchemy is basically the transformation of matter, and it directly relates to like changing lead into gold. And as we know, Taylor references gold a lot of the time in her songs. Okay, so I'm totally abandoning whatever clip I had there because it's just so much easier showing you these graphics, photos, whatever I found on a Tumblr page that's quite popular when you want to start referencing lyrics from her past works. As you can see, Reputation is covered with golden referenced lyrics, same with Lover, as well as Folklore and Evermore, and then she just stops at Midnights. But also to put emphasis on this is that in Evermore and Gold Rush, people think Gold Rush is about somebody else and not Joe, but the thing is, Gold Rush, she literally says, I don't like a gold rush. So considering that is one of the lyrics in Evermore in that album, and then in Midnights we get nothing golden related, but then also in the Alcott, which is definitely a breakup type song, breakup genre, dare I say, she literally references a golden notebook and yada 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 yada. You know what I mean. It's all right there in front of you. People are saying that the alchemy could actually be about how this relationship was fake and she was trying to turn it into, well, not fake. I'm saying that basically she felt that she had to transform the matter of this relationship into gold for it to work out for them. And it was all basically a sham. All of that she thought that I once believed love would be black and white, but it's golden. Once believed love would be burning red, but it's golden. A single thread of gold tied me to you. All that stuff, it's all fake, and she was just an alchemist, basically, in the whole relationship, trying to keep it tied together. Let's go to the next one. Clara Bow. I don't know why the frick it printed so small, okay? But here's a photo of Clara Bow. She was a silent film actor that ended up moving into the talkies, which is basically like the black and white talking films. Whatever, you get it. But she was the original It Girl. Guess where, oh, she has a Hollywood Star of Fame. Guess where that is? On Sunset and Vine. You know what else references Sunset and Vine? Gorgeous. The lyrics in Gorgeous. So perhaps she's going to talk about how she is like an it girl. Yup. Okay, so I am abandoning the last clip like I did with the last little theory Easter egg thing that we had. So what I was going to try to say here is that Clara Bow ended up retiring almost like in the height of her career at the age of 28 for a quiet life and to open a cafe with her husband. So people on TikTok and Twitter and whatnot have been speculating that this song is kind of going to be about how for about like 3 to 4 years she was kind of trying to not stop her career, but people are speculating that you know who was trying to make her retire or at least try to step away from the limelight. Anyways, the bonus track, we're on our last track. We have the manuscript, which I don't have anything behind me for it, but I don't know what the song's gonna be about, okay? Have no idea what it's gonna be about, but a lot of the, I guess, marketing for this album has been very, like, literally at the, you can't see it from here. I will put a picture on the screen, but at the bottom corner of the back cover, it literally says From the Desk of Taylor Swift. Her website, when you look at the merch and you look at the collector's edition CD, it's literally like it's in a filing folder, like all this stuff. So this album's gonna be very like academia kind of department. Hello, department, she's the chairman. Makes sense. And part of me kind of thinks that this album, the reason why it's being, I guess, marketed with merch this way is because it's gonna be like she's getting down to the bottom of everything. And it feels like very like, literally it says file name, the manuscript up on the top here, but something tells me it's going to feel like almost like not a crime documentary, not at all. That's not what I'm trying to say, right? But I feel like with all of that marketing, it's gonna be kind of like we're gonna get down to the bottom of what happened between these two. You know what I mean? And what she hasn't been able to say, because genuinely I think Midnights was not that revealing at all. I think she was just trying to get an album out to be able to tour this tour, and it was, she released it alongside the tour just to get more hype from it. But I think this album is going to be much more revealing, hence why we're getting very like crime doc, crime this, crime that. Also, I forgot to print out this photo too. I forgot to print out so many photos because I was in a rush. But from the desk of Taylor Swift, if you remember back from the Midnights era, which obviously by the time Midnights was being marketed, released, all that jazz, this album was being written, okay? This album was being worked on, written, all that stuff. It was in the early stages, I would assume. And there is literally a TikTok video of a desk and a calendar, right? And it says manifest on it and all that jazz. Insert photo here. Here's the full TikTok video in question. You can obviously hear that ticking noise in the background, which people are trying to relate to when we got the album announcement with the tick, 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 ticking love bombs lyric that we got from that post. And although it can relate to Midnights with Meet Me at Midnight and the whole clock imagery, I feel like this tick, tick, tick was definitely possibly an Easter egg for Tortured Poets, but yeah. And there's quite literally a quill right there, which people are going to say that's in reference to when Taylor decided to categorize the way that she songwrites, like glitter gel pen, fountain quill pen, yada yada yada, you get the idea. But when we look at the album announcement with those song lyrics that we have on like the file folder thing, she literally says, my veins of pitch black ink, which to use a quill you need black ink. So there you go, another little Easter egg there. People are saying that that has something to tie into it, which I think would make sense. I don't know what it would be, but with this whole aesthetic it would, yeah. Just yeah. And one more thing. Oh god, I didn't talk about Love of My Life. There's a song on this album called MOML. People are saying it's short form for Love of My Life. Also, other people are saying it's gonna be Loss of My Life.
Are you really gonna talk about tiny times like these? Let all your damage me. Carry your baggage up my street.
I guess we'll just see when it comes out. Even if it was called Love of My Life, I think it would be it would not be a love song, I don't think. I think it'd definitely be like a little bit of a breakup-y song. Kind of like, that's why she shortened it down. She doesn't want to call it Love of My Life. She's going to call it the acronym for it because she is trying to... I totally brain farted here and just forgot what I was going to say, but she basically is trying to give the meaning of LOML less meaning by shortening it into an acronym. Now, back to what I was going to say before, is that the logo for the Tortured Poets department, insert a photo here, in that little like part where the D is, it kind of looks like part of the yin and yang symbol. Also, I forgot to talk about I Love You, It's Ruining My Life. Mentioned this in a past video. That song lyric relates to Cruel Summer in a way. I love you, ain't that the worst thing you ever heard? Also, posing a question here, how does girlfriend go from I've loved you 3 summers now, honey, to I love you, it's ruining my life? So these lyrics are going to be in one of these songs. We're probably going to get some clarity on that, but it's funny how we go from I love you, ain't that the worst thing you ever heard, to I love you, it's ruining my life. Like, it quite literally was the worst thing he's ever heard. Also, other Easter eggs we can talk about here. When 1989, Taylor's version, the announcement thing was released, there were 11 T's that were capitalized, and then everybody just kind of ended up seeing that, being like, oh my god, she was counting to 11. I forgot to print out this photo here as well, but I mentioned it in another video, but I'm just going to compile it here, just so they're all here together. Jack and Taylor got #1 song for Cruel Summer. They posed with Jack going like, ah, and then Taylor going like this. That equals 11, obviously. And also another little thing with the announcement that came with, or I should say the song lyrics that came with this announcement, was that she said my 4 times. And we all know where the my, it's from Death by a Thousand Cuts, okay? We all know back in 2019, she said Death by a Thousand Cuts was not meant to be a breakup song for the current time, because Lover, in the whole scheme of things, is talking about love in any shape or form. So breakups, current love, family love, working through something. I guess with that my from these song lyrics to Death by a Thousand Cuts. Safe to say that that was her little hint of, yes, this is the official breakup album. Midnights was the start to it. It was the easing into it. And now it's like, we're done. For sure done. Which, speaking of, I have Girlhood on a Spectrum. You probably cannot see this. But it goes Lover, Midnights, then Tortured Poets. You can kind of see the progression, which is kind of wild. Anyways, that's all I've got. I did compile a bunch of tweets, and I got some of these from comments from my last video, so thank you to whoever pointed some stuff out. You basically helped me make this video. And don't take this video too seriously, okay? Do not take it too seriously. This is a joke. I'm a joke. This video is a joke. If you liked it, subscribe, like, comment, all those things. And I will see you in the next video, which is going to be me reacting to Conan Gray's new song. Can't remember the name of it, but it's his new song and I'm listening to it next. So, hope you enjoyed all of this, and I will see you literally on like Friday or Saturday. Okay, bye!